Tonight, shots accidentally fired in a Moscow apartment.
And Pullman is being fined for safety violations during April's Grand Avenue flood.
Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Sean O'Connor.
And I'm Gunnar Peterson. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
WSU's Student Recreation Center is getting into the spirit of the season. Tomorrow, the rec is hosting the Aqua Patch, a floating pumpkin patch at the rec center. We talked with the coordinator, Jared LaFear, to learn more.
5 o'clock at the Student Rec Center pool, and it's first come, first served. No charge. Anybody who can swipe into the rec center, whether they're an elected member or a student member, can pick one, and it's one per person. Get in the pool yourself and pick the one out that you want, or we will have staff in the pool. If you didn't want to get in, you could just point to one in the water and they would hand it to you. It seems to just be gaining in popularity as the years go by.
A man accidentally fired a round from his AR-15 rifle in his apartment. According to Moscow Pullman Daily News, the incident happened Sunday at the Grove Apartments in Moscow. The Moscow Police Department says the man was clearing a jam in his gun when the round went off. The bullet traveled through an adjacent unit and damaged a window. The man was not cited nor arrested.
The Washington Department of Labor and Industries fined the city of Pullman for 3 violations that occurred during the Grand Avenue flooding last April. The fire department rescued 22 people during the flooding, but the fines stem from safety violations that were made while crews used a front loader to rescue people. Luckily, there were no injuries during the rescue, but the violation totals $2,700, which the city says they will not appeal.
Spokane throws its hat into the ring to help the state of Washington fight the opioid issue in America. Spokane City Council approved a contract with a Seattle-based law firm to join a lawsuit against OxyContin distributors and wholesalers. The pursuit started in 2018 with Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who led the charge to make opioid manufacturers answer for the lives severely affected by the issue.
And a 3-alarm fire blazed through a strip mall in Ballard yesterday. Employees of an affected business called 911 just before noon yesterday with reports seeing light smoke. Over 150 Seattle fire personnel responded to the fire, 65% of the city's on-duty resources. 4 businesses were total losses with another sustaining damage. Damage totaled $3 million. No civilians were injured, but a firefighter was transported to Harborview with minor injuries as a precaution. He was released yesterday and is doing well.
The Latah County Sheriff's Office may see a bump in their vehicle budget next fiscal year. According to the Lewiston Tribune, the requested $75,000 bump would be used to replace one of the department's 2016 Ford Explorers. The vehicle was totaled in a crash on Highway 8 on September 17th. The Latah County Commissioners will hold a public comment period before approving the budget.
The Pullman-Moscow Airport is almost ready to reopen. The regional airport will reopen Thursday with the first commercial flight scheduled for Friday. The airport will officially reopen with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. The airport closed on September 9th for runway extensions and a repave.
Idaho State Police say the highway in Idaho is now clear after a semi-truck filled with potatoes tipped over. This was a picture taken on the scene of the potatoes spilled over the highway there. The crash happened in Pocatello, Idaho at about noon. Police say that there were no injuries on the scene, but not all of the potatoes made it. Police did keep traffic moving during that time.
Kyle Guamnitz was sentenced to 28 months in prison by Whitman County Superior Court on Friday. Guamnitz, a WSU alum, was sentenced on 1 count of second-degree extortion with sexual motivation and 4 counts of second-degree extortion. Guamnitz will be supervised for 3 years after his release. He will be required to register as a sex offender.
University of Idaho student Adam Seo died from injuries he suffered in a head-on car crash on Friday. Seo crossed the center double yellow lines going northbound on Highway 95 when he crashed into Moscow high school teacher Melissa Kirkland going the opposite direction. According to Moscow Pullman Daily News, Kirkland suffered 2 broken hands, a broken foot in the crash and was released from the hospital on Saturday.
And Toys R Us is back, and the resurrection is digital. The post-bankrupt company did see a mass closure of their Toys R Us brand stores across the country. However, they will now have a website where you can purchase items online. Thanks to Targets, the company can have this presence as they now share the traffic. Every item bought on Toys R Us websites will direct you to the Target site to complete the purchase. The site is live today as we get closer to the holiday season. Two
elderly adults were found dead in a home near Chattanooga, Washington in Spokane County. Spokane County Sheriff's Office were sent on a welfare check on the home after a witness called in minimal activity coming from the home. Deputies found an elderly man dead and had to take a developmentally challenged adult whom he was the caretaker of to the hospital.
When we come back, a big change for the Cougs and their game against Arizona State.
When Murrow News 8 returns.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
MLB playoffs continue through this week with some matchup. The New York Yankees beat the Minnesota Twins 5-1 last night, and the coming game tonight. Today, we have the American and National League Division Series with teams like Houston Astros and Tampa Bay Rays, and we have Cardinals and Braves, Nationals and Dodgers standing off Wednesday. Former New England Patriots Robert Gronkowski starts his new job on Thursday night. According to Fox Sports, Gronkowski joins Fox Sports as NFL analyst. Gronkowski will make his debut on the Thursday night football pregame show between the New York Giants and the Patriots. According to ESPN, Gronkowski has won 3 Super Bowls and one of the league's most powerful personalities. After 2 consecutive losses, WSU defensive coordinator Trace Kellis resigned late last week. The new defensive coordinator that will take over for Kellis will be Rock Bellantoni and Darcel Macbeth. On Monday, the new depth chart was released for the weekend's game against ASU. There are now new faces playing new positions as well as new starters on the defensive side of the ball. WSU men's basketball softball player C.J. Allaby named preseason first team All-Pac-12. Allaby finished the year averaging 14.7 points and 7.1 rebounds per game. Also scored a freshman record 471 points, breaking a 45-year-old Cougar freshman scoring record. Allaby was the first Cougar named to the 5-man all-freshman team since Reggie Moore in 2010. Luke Falk will no longer play quarterback for New York Jets. Sam Darnold will return to play after missing the past 3 games because of bout with mono. He will start on Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys.
More winter weather on the way.
Find out what this week's forecast is with Malou Santos after the break.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Lou Santos is over at the Weather Center. Lou, what kind of weather should we be expecting this week?
Good question. It's getting colder and colder and colder, and I'm kind of upset that last month my heating bill was $22, and because I've been having to crank up my heater lately, it's going to be $122. At any rate, today's high was 52 degrees with a low of 28 and cloudy, and the sunset is setting later and later. Sunset tonight at 6:15. Taking a look at tomorrow, it'll be a lot chillier, 44 degrees with a low of 22. Sun rising at 6:58 and 6:13 is scheduled for the sunset. And taking a look at the state map, Olympia and Seattle, 51, 52 degrees. Taking a look at the center of the state, Yakima, high of 58, low of 32, and Tri-Cities, 31 and low of 36. And Spokane and Pullman, our side of the mountain, Spokane high of 52, as well as Pullman, and lows in the 20s. Taking a look at the 5-day, Tuesday it is 52 degrees with a low of 28, and the 40s, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be in the upper 50s to upper 50s. Yeah, back to you at the desk.
When we come back, why Ellen had to defend her friendship with former President George W. Bush.
That when Murrow News 8 returns.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no. This warrior will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
After facing internet backlash, Ellen DeGeneres is responding to critics on Twitter who questioned her seating position at an NFL game next to former President George W. Bush.
DeGeneres went on to say that her request to be kind means being kind to everyone, no matter the differences.
Thank you for watching tonight. Be sure to watch our live newscast at nwpb.org/mn8 and on Cable 8 at 7 and 10.
Don't forget, you can also follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Have a good night.